Look, when you think about World War II fighters, you probably picture something like a Mustang or a Spitfire. A single-engine plane, sleek and fast, doing barrel rolls in the sky. And you wouldn't be wrong. Those planes were the heart and soul of the air war. They were the scrappy, nimble dogs in the fight. So, what exactly is a twin-engine fighter? It sounds simple enough, right? It's a fighter plane with two engines instead of one. Well, yes, but there's more to it. Think of it like this. A single-engine fighter is like a sports car. It's light, it's nimble, built for one thing: performance in a tight spot. A twin-engine fighter is more like a heavy-duty truck, more power under the hood, carries a heavier load, goes the distance. You wouldn't take a pickup to a Formula One race, nor use a sports car to haul a ton of bricks. Use the right tool for the job. Adding a second engine did a few incredible things. More horsepower, carry more fuel, carry more bullets, even bigger guns, cannons. From simple fighter to sophisticated weapon system. Now let's talk about one of the most distinctive planes to ever fly, the Lockheed P-38 Lightning. If you ever saw one, you'd never forget it. It had two engines, sure, but they were mounted on two separate booms, with the pilot sitting in a central pod right in the middle. It looked like something out of a science fiction movie. The Germans who had to face it had a nickname for it, Der Gabelschwanz-Teufel, which means the fork-tailed devil. When you saw that unique silhouette coming at you out of the sun, you knew you were in for a world of hurt. It was a truly radical design for its time. The genius of the P-38's design was how it concentrated its firepower. Most fighters had machine guns spread out in the wings. To hit a target, the bullets had to be angled to converge at a certain distance. But the P-38 had all its guns, a powerful 20mm Cannon 450 caliber machine guns, packed right in the nose. This meant the bullets flew straight ahead in a tight, concentrated stream, like a buzzsaw. A P-38 pilot didn't have to worry about convergence. They just had to point the nose at the enemy and pull the trigger. The result was absolutely devastating, whether the target was an enemy fighter or a locomotive on the ground. The P-38 was a true jack-of-all-trades. Its long range made it a perfect escort fighter, capable of flying with bombers all the way to their targets and back, a job single-engine fighters just couldn't do early in the war. In the Pacific, it was the plane that America's top aces, Richard Bong Thomas Maguire. Over in Great Britain, they were working on a different kind of magic. While everyone else was building their planes out of metal, a team at the de Havilland Company decided to build a warplane out of wood. That's right, plywood, to be exact. The result was the de Havilland Mosquito, the wooden wonder. In a time of metal shortages, this was a stroke of genius. It was made from layers of balsa and birch glued into strong plywood, like a flying piece of furniture that could reach 400 miles per hour. The secret was speed. Ditching heavy armor and defensive guns, and using two Rolls-Royce Merlin engines, same engine as the Spitfire, produced the fastest operational aircraft for a time. It could often outrun enemy fighters. Why fight them when you could simply outrun them? The Mosquito could drop its bombs and be gone before the enemy knew what hit them. It served many roles. Crews flew at treetop level to avoid radar. Fun fact, there was a version that carried a 4,000-pound blockbuster bomb. The Mosquito proved clever engineering wins. Simple materials, brilliant design, a masterpiece of the war. On the other side of the conflict, the German Luftwaffe had its own twin-engine monster, the Messerschmitt Bf 110. Before the war, the Germans had a big idea. The concept was for a heavy, long-range fighter that could sweep the skies clear of enemy planes, clearing a path for their bombers. The Bf 110 was the plane built to do that job. It was sleek. It was fast for its time. It was armed to the teeth with cannons, machine guns in the nose. In the early days of the war, during the invasions of Poland and France, the Bf 110 performed exactly as planned. It was faster than most of the enemy fighters it faced. It completely outgunned them. But then came the Battle of Britain. The big, heavy Zerstörer found that it just couldn't turn with the nimbler single-engine fighters. Suddenly, the hunter became the hunted. They painted them black, fitted primitive radar antennas like giant whiskers, and sent them up into the darkness. In this role, the plane was a massive success. Some later versions even used upward-firing cannons, Schrägmusik, to shred bombers from below. Across the globe in the Pacific, the Japanese were also hard at work on their own twin-engine designs. One of their most successful was the Mitsubishi Ki-46. Now, this plane wasn't originally designed to be a fighter at all. Its job was strategic reconnaissance. The Japanese army needed a plane that could fly very high, fly very fast, go deep into enemy territory, take pictures, and get home without being caught. The result was the Ki-46, a beautiful streamlined aircraft with a long, elegant canopy for its two-man crew. The Allies gave it the reporting name Dyna. For a long time, it was almost untouchable. The Dyna was all about speed and altitude. It could fly higher and faster than most Allied fighters could reach, scouting with impunity. But, as the war went on, new Allied fighters could finally reach it. Japan converted it into an interceptor with nose cannons and an upward 37mm to threaten the high-flying B-29s. When you put these four titans side by side, you really start to see how different philosophies led to different kinds of planes. It's like comparing a framing hammer, a sledgehammer, and a finishing hammer. The American P-38 Lightning was the undisputed king of long-range escort and firepower concentration. Its nose-mounted arsenal was a shredder. Its ability to fly huge distances made it invaluable in the vast Pacific theater. Its biggest weakness was that its complexity made it a bit of a handful to maintain. It also wasn't the most agile plane in a close-in fight. Then you have the British de Havilland Mosquito. Its greatest strength was blistering speed, born from lightweight wooden construction and powerful Merlin engines. This made it a superb hit-and-run attacker and reconnaissance plane. It didn't need to dogfight because it could simply outrun its opponents. Its weakness was a lack of defensive armament and armor. The German Messerschmitt Bf 110 started as a destroyer, but found its true calling as a night fighter. It was perfect for taking down large, non-maneuvering bombers at night. Finally, the Mitsubishi Ki-46 Dyna excelled as a high-altitude speed specialist. These planes weren't just about glamour and racking up kills in dogfights. They were the ones called upon to do the really dirty jobs of the air war. Think about being a night fighter pilot in a Bf 110. Think about being a night fighter pilot in a Mosquito. You're flying in total blackness, staring at a fuzzy green scope, hunting for an enemy you can't see. Your life depends on a second crewman, interpreting shadows on a screen, guiding you into position, while you're being tossed around in the dark. For a few terrifying seconds, a massive bomber fills your windscreen guns, blazing. You have to hold steady and fire, hoping you hit it before it hits you. Or imagine being a P-38 pilot on an escort mission deep into Germany. You've been in the air for hours, cramped in a small cockpit, your body aching. You're responsible for protecting hundreds of men. Your job isn't to be a hero and chase them. It's to stick with the bombers to break up the enemy attacks, to fly through a storm of bullets and flak to keep the big friends safe. Reconnaissance pilots flew alone for hundreds of miles over enemy territory with nothing but speed to protect them. Every minute tense, every dot a possible threat. Their mission wasn't to fight, but to see. They had to get the pictures and get home. The information they brought back could change the course of a battle, or even the war. So, what's the big takeaway here? Why do these twin-engine planes matter so much? It's because they fundamentally changed the nature of air warfare. They broke the mold of the fighter being just a short-range dogfighter. They proved a fighter could be a versatile, multi-role platform. This idea is central to every modern Air Force today. Every F-15, every FA-18, every Eurofighter Typhoon owes a piece of its DNA to these World War II pioneers. Adding a second engine, and often a second crewman, was a step toward today's tech-packed warplanes. Night fighters with radar operators were the direct ancestors of modern electronic warfare officers. The P-38's long-range Guardians paved the way for today's strike fighters. These planes were the bridge between simple biplanes and sensor-fused jets. They forced new tactics, speed and power over pure agility. The essence of stealth, penetrate fast and unseen, was there in wood and glue. In the end, the twin-engine fighter is a story of innovation and adaptation. Powerful, complex, sometimes flawed, but absolutely necessary. They did the dirty, difficult jobs, and their legacy echoes in the roar of every twin-engine jet that takes to the sky today.